Welcome to the Chosen One podcast show. My name is Sophie. I am a manifesting generator 1-3, and I'm super passionate about a lot of things. I love fashion, branding, human design, healing, channeled content, jinkies, and everything business and mindset related. I called this podcast show The Chosen One for a reason because I truly believe that as MGs, we are here to challenge the world to do things differently, more nonlinear and with lots of playfulness. So if you are an MG like me or you like my MG energy, you are here at the right place to learn exactly how to live a MG life with zero limits.
You are the chosen one.
Okay, well guys, it's evening, Thursday. And I'm actually re-listening to the audios I recorded today for week 3 of the Art of Responding. And it's one of the things I do. I re-listen to the audios and then I make like summaries of it, like short notes, like reminders, and I put them in a short PDF so that we have like simple reminders of the thing I discuss in each lesson. It's I have to admit it's mainly for myself because I love going back to my old content as well. And if I only see like the audio lessons, I just seriously forget what I share because 9 out of 10 times it's like channeled content anyway, so it's like not even me sharing it. So like making those like summaries really help me to understand what it even is that I shared and to really help me remember how freaking valuable the content is. Anyway, I needed to share one thing that I shared in the audio lesson, which I just freaking love. While talking, like what this always happens, right? I'll just start talking. I have an outline for what I want to discuss, and then I sort of like open myself up and I sort of channel the content. And all of a sudden, they showed me this image of our like a vision or I'm still looking for the right word in English. I can't come up with it. It's like an synonym, we call it. Um, for this for our energy type, and they showed me the rainbow, and I'm like, oh my goodness, guys, we as manifesting generators are rainbows. And the reason why people get so lit up by or excited when they see a rainbow is because it has all these different beautiful colors. It wouldn't be so exciting if it just had red, right, or just had blue. We love it because it had all the colors, and that's exactly how we should view our energy field, right? People love manifesting generators because we have like the full spectrum of all of the colors, right? We are not just doing one thing, we do it all. So I just want to share that. And of course, if you are listening to this and you have another energy type, just know that you are a freaking rainbow as well in your own divine way, or a beautiful star maybe, or a beautiful planet. We are all so beautiful, but that's just an image that they showed me. So the reason why I wanted to press record today for the podcast episode is because this week has been interesting. I feel like I've been really challenged to go even more next level. We're taking my team to the next level. We're currently, it was such an interesting story. I did a live this just Tuesday. We did the second live for the webinar, and we got to answer a lot of the questions that people had around the informing strategy. It was a beautiful session. And in that session, I explained how intuitive hits are also a very reliable thing to respond on if you have the responsive strategy, right? As manifesting generators, we have the responding strategy. If you're a generator, you have the responding strategy as well. And intuitive hits are, like, in my opinion, the most pure thing to respond to. Like, you do not have to wait for something outside of yourself. Like, a pure intuitive hit is like the best thing to follow. I do have to say that you sort of have to, like, you have to understand when something is a pure intuitive hit and a non-pure intuitive hit, because the non-pure intuitive hits are not necessarily a thing to follow up on. But this is something I explain more in depth in the course. I have like two lessons recorded about that, about how to distinguish the difference between non-pure and pure intuitive hits. But anyways, This week I was like explaining this story in the Q&A webinar, because this weekend let me rewind a little bit. So a couple of months ago, I already like sort of received a download that I should hire a VA. But I can always feel when I have an intuitive hit if I have to move on it right away, or if it's like a first like gesture and I sort of have to wait it out. Okay, so when I received that intuitive hit about the VA, I knew that that was going to happen, but I also knew that I had to wait it out a little bit, that it was still a little bit too early to go out and find a specific VA. So before, like a couple of years ago, before I understood the whole responsive strategy, whenever I would get intuitive hits like that, I would right away like shift from like the divine feminine energy to the non-defined masculine energy, and I would like, okay, I have to find a VA because this is the download I got. And then I would go out and search for the VA like a crazy person, or I would reach out to fellow like entrepreneurs, sisters that I know who run a very successful business and have a team, to see if they knew somebody. That would always lead to nothing, right? Or it would lead to something, and I could tell you drama. So the thing I taught myself is whenever I get a download like that and I feel like it's a little bit too early, I honor that download. I honor the fact that, yes, this is a download for me, but a divine timing will tell me when to move on it. So I released it. I was like, okay, perfect. A VA. I will hear it when it's the time to do this. So in the weekends, I tend to go offline. I remove my WhatsApp. I remove my social media 9 of the 10 times, and I try to really retrieve in my own energy and close off all the energy leaks that I maybe encountered during the week, right? Because during the week I'm very open. I work with all of my clients. I work with all of the clients who are in the Art of Responding course, who send in their questions. I open myself energetically up to all of my clients so I can channel the best content for them in all of my programs. So I'm very open. Even though I have learned how to close off my energy, I'm still very open because that's part of my work, right? But in that openness, and especially on Instagram, I find this, I have a tendency to sometimes start leaking energy. So whenever I notice that, I will just like sort of retrieve for a couple of days and sort of close all of my energy leaks again. And going completely offline really helps me, because when I have energy leaks, I am less aligned in my energy, and I tend to be like more sort of all over the place, and I have the tendency to then send out messages to my team or to people that I just later regret, right? So I'm like, okay, we're not doing that. Self-protection, get out of it and just align your energy. So that's what I do in the weekends mostly. And the thing that I've noticed by me retrieving in my energy, it's not only beneficial to me, but it's also beneficial to my clients. It's also beneficial for my team members, because when I retrieve my energy, like they are sort of activated to retrieve in their energy as well. And I always notice that whenever I have retrieved my energy, all of my clients and all of my team members come out like stronger after that. So it's very interesting to notice that I can do things for myself, but because we're all energetically so connected, it benefits my clients as well. So this is something I actually learned a long time ago, that like working as an energetic business coach, because basically that's what I do, right? Sometimes the energetic work that I do behind the scenes, or not sometimes, I think like that's the work. The work that I do behind the scenes is as important, maybe even more important than the spoken 3D physical content I deliver to my clients. And I think this is something that's been very overlooked by a lot of people. I feel like there's this one woman I follow. She's pretty nice. She's I don't remember her name, but she's a psychic as well, and she runs a successful business in the States, I believe. And she once recorded a YouTube video about it, about how we, as energetic coaches, we should be very well paid, because the work that we do is not like, we do not have a job from 9 to 5. Our job is actually 24/7, because we have to be freaking aligned in our energy always, right? And like she explained in her video, and that's actually my reality as well, she's like, sometimes I'll just wake up in the middle of the night because I have a download for a specific client, and I'll move on that, right? And that's the same for me. Like, I can't, like, some people have like sleepless nights because they have a young child. I have the blessing, we have the blessing that we have a child that just sleeps. We do not have any, we have never had one sleepless night because of our daughter. She just sleeps. I mean, yeah, she drinks in the middle of the night still, but we sleep together, right? So she just crawls on top of me and she just like she takes a couple of zips and then she falls asleep again, and I'll fall asleep right away. But like sleepless nights because of a child, we do not know. But I do have lots of sleepless nights because I get downloads in the middle of the night, or I need to work on something in the middle of the night, or I have dreams for clients, right? So my work is 24/7. Now, I don't know how I got to this part because I was talking about something else. Okay, yes, I was talking about the VA, right? Anyways, this weekend, I was again in the middle of the night. I was awake and my daughter was still asleep, and I couldn't, I think it was 6 a.m. or something, and she probably wakes up around 9:30 most of the time. So I was like, okay, got hours left. Let's tune in. And all of a sudden, they showed me, and when I talk about they, I'm talking about my guides, they showed me a specific like line that I should enter on Google search, right? And this was like two search words for to find a specific VA. And I know whenever I get downloads like that, it always leads to something. When I found my coach, Jenna Black, I had the same download. They showed me like, search for this specific search word and you will find your coach. And that's how I got to Jenna. And with this VA, I had the same thing. They showed me two words and I entered it and I scrolled down, and like the fourth website, I was like, okay, you have to click on this. And I clicked on it, and immediately I knew, okay, this is interesting. I felt right away, this is a manifesting generator profile. It can't be any different. And I was just like drawn, like they just told me move on it. And I booked like a session with her right away. And afterwards, I was like, let me check if I'm just curious about the other profiles on that search type. And I opened like three more profiles, and that was like so not it. So it was so interesting. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And this is what happens, guys, when we become really aligned in our energy, and when we start to listen and honor our intuitive hits and our downloads, like, business becomes so easy, because God and the universe and your guides are literally here to help you. But you just need to get out of your way. You need to understand how to honor those sacral hits, how to honor those intuitive hits, how to like really clean your energy in a way that you can receive them and distinguish, like, is this like a pure intuitive hit or a non-pure intuitive hit, right? So, by the way, just to inform, these are all things I teach you in the art of responding. So, just so you know. But the whole reason I started this episode was because I was saying I sort of feel like I'm really taking things next level. So we had the intake with this new virtual assistant, and I invited my strategic partner to be part of that meeting, because like she will be the one that will really she will be the one working close with her, right? Because in my business, I am the person that just needs to have the energetic space to be my complete self, right? So I just need a team that really helps me be my most authentic self. So I get to like be myself and be paid for being myself, right? That's the thing, actually. So we had a call with the three of us, and it was so interesting because she knew about human design and she sort of like channels her VA work. It was such an interesting call. I absolutely loved it. And I think like my strategic partner and I were like right away on the same page. We were like, yes, this is a match. So we wrapped it up, and then the day after, my strategic partner had a separate call with her to really pinpoint all the details and do all the things that I don't really like doing. And we're now gonna start off with a trial. So this is really exciting because in the weekend that I retrieved and closed all my energy leaks, my strategic partner actually received a lot of downloads for the business as well. So when I called her up on Monday and said, I know what the intention has to be for this week. We have to find a VA. And then an hour later, I called her and I said, I found her. She was like, this is so interesting because I channeled something very interesting for the business. We're going to try to make an MG proof, not try, we're going to make a badass MG proof funnel. And she was working on that this weekend without me knowing that, right? So it was so funny because she like made all the strategics, but the thing that we needed for that was a VA, right? Because I'm not gonna do that and she's not gonna do that, so we need a VA. So without being together, without knowing what we were doing, we both felt the need for that VA, and I manifested her on that Monday. So this is just like a little story to illustrate how energy works, what happens when you align yourself and your energy, and how magical it also can be to work with a team. Um, I don't know if I have ever shared that in this podcast, in the English podcast at least. I have run a very large team, or a large team of four. We had four people at a certain point in our business, in a team. And back then, I didn't know my profile. I didn't know fully how to run a business. So for me to start working with a team again, that really took a lot of like healing and also like deconditioning on my part. I did all that work, which was beautiful. And I now really understand in a much better way how to like be the CEO of my business and how to really have attract women into my business that are a soul match, who like I see everybody who works in my business as a partner, right? I do not, it's not like I'm the boss and you're like my employee. No, we are partners. We're in this together. And I really love like crafting this in a way that's experimental. So the way we do things in our business, the way we talk about money, the way we talk about running things in the business, the way we work, the hours we work, right? It's all like in a very different way. We do not work 9 to 5. We do not work with paycheck to paycheck. We have a very different way of doing things. And like that's what I mean when I'm taking things next level in my business. I am really inviting myself to write new stories. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful to see how that unfolds. And like us now working on an MG proof funnel is also like next level for me, right? Because I have a lot of I have a lot of conditioned thoughts about funnels. I genuinely do not like funnels. I feel like they're like sort of bullshit. I feel like, oh my God, they feel so tacky, right? But then again, I also know that funnels, if you do it in a very authentic way, it is very beneficial and in service to your clients, to your potential clients, right? We have a job to do as entrepreneurs, as manifesting generators. It's our job to let people see the amazing gifts that we have. And it's our job to like break through all of our conditioned thoughts around, for example, funnels, and see how can we tweak it in a way that does align to our energy. How can we do it in a way that does excite us and really, really helps future clients make a decision that literally changes their lives, right? And I keep reminding people we are not in the business of like, we do not sell bullshit. We sell beautiful things. So it's amazing to pick like beautiful marketing tools, but we need to adjust it to our MG energy. The same thing when it comes to testimonials, right? I hate using testimonials, but my strategic partner, she's like, we have to do testimonials. And I'm like, I don't want to do testimonials. She's like, we have to do testimonials. And I'm like, I don't want to do testimonials. But I know that she's right because like she's a manifester, and I know when she says something, she's right. And especially when I feel like resistance to it, I know she's right. But then it comes to the place that we have to find a way to make it aligned to my energy. So we had a beautiful conversation this afternoon about the testimonials. And I was like, I'm willing. I am going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to decondition myself. But it has to be done in a responsive manner. So a lot of testimonials are done in an initiating manner, which means that you initiate, that you like reach out to somebody and you say, can you record a testimonial for me? I have so many testimonials that I never use because it just doesn't do anything for my soul. It doesn't excite me. And I know why, because those testimonials were initiated instead of responded, right? So when somebody just sends me an amazing voice memo and I hear somebody say something that lights me up, that is something that I could use for testimonials, right? So I'm like really deconditioning all the stories around testimonials as well. And I'm also investigating how can we apply the art of responding to the testimonials, and how can we apply the art of responding to the funnel. So yeah, I feel like we're taking all the art of responding stuff to the next level here. It's really fun. And I think we're at 20 minutes now. I think I shared enough information for today. Is there anything else I want to share? I guess not. I guess this is it for now. I'm excited about the trial with the VA. I'm excited about the things that we have planned. I feel like it's gonna take the business like next level because I'm gonna like outsource things that I usually do myself. And that's one final thing I will say. Because I'm a manifesting generator and I'm very multi-passionate, I can do a lot of things. So I have always built all of my websites. I have always done all of my email marketing, funnels, webinars, Facebook ads. I do it all myself. I have outsourced it like in the past when I had my team, but again, we already spoke about that. But I can do it all, and I can do it freaking fast. So in order for me to outsource something, that person has to be a freaking aligned energy to me. They have to work in a way that complements my business, right? And this is what we're gonna test now. And I have a feeling that we're absolutely on the same page and that she totally gets my energy. And because she's a manifesting generator as well, I think, yeah, I really have a good feeling about it. But it's interesting for me because like I want to do a webinar in 10 days. And usually I would be like, okay, I'm just going to do it right now and I'm going to do all of it. But because I do it all, I tend to make mistakes as well, right? I mess up like the dates for the for the webinar, or I mix up the times. And that's just because like I do all of those things and I do not have an eye for like details. So I think outsourcing it all will like so benefit my energy. And I'm just so interested to see what will like, because I'm outsourcing it, like energy gets released in me. Like I have extra energy. I have energy left. And I'm just so curious what will happen when I have even more energy to focus on like taking this all to the next level. So I'm just really curious. Okay, that's it for now. Have an amazing day, and we'll talk soon.